Tell me what life is like in your home village of Ngiro, Kenya.
In Nairobi, Kenya, where I grew up, sometimes life is really, really hard, especially in terms of getting water. We walk about 4 kilometers, 4 miles each way to get the clean water.
Every
And
day.
every day in the morning, 4 miles one way, 4 miles, totally 8 miles for to get just a bucket of 5 gallons of water. And that does not even supply the whole family for the fresh water for the day. The water itself is not even clean. It drains women and children to do this every day in the morning because first of all you have to line up to get this water.
And this is primarily the women and the children that
It-
have to do this task. Is that right?
This is only done by women and children, specifically girl child. And this has a lot of impact on their education and their life in general because they don't get enough time to concentrate on education or other things that they need to focus on, even on childcare and every other thing.
Tell me what life for you was like growing up in this village.
It was one of the hardest things that I ever had in my life, but I thank God that He gave me the strength to go through it. I had to wake up at around 5:30 or 6 a.m. in the morning to go walk 4 miles to get a bucket of water and 4 miles back. Coming back, it was around 8 a.m. or 8:30, and I had to go to school in the morning. The reporting time in school is 7:30 a.m. After going to school at around 8:30 a.m., I was already late. Every day in the morning, I would receive 2 strokes every day because I was always late.
And what happens because of all this responsibility? Does it distract from education for the children of the village?
Actually, as girls, you see, when you're already late in school, first of all, after being given 2 strokes in the morning, there's going to be an impact on your performance because you go to class when everybody's already settled. So your focus is only meant that first of all, you've got 2 strokes, you are already having low self-esteem. So that affects your performance. With low academic performance in class, you'll feel left out. So at the age of 14 or 15, there's always forced marriage. So when the community impose this on you, you'll definitely yield because first of all, you have low performance in school, you are always late, you are always getting 2 strokes every day. So it's always very easy to give in to the forced marriage at the age of 14 and 15.
So life in the village tended to push young people, especially girls, away from school. So education was not a priority.
That's true.
So as a young girl, you saw lack of education, you saw domestic violence, you saw polygamy, and you saw abusive relationships. So all of those things helped you make a choice.
Yeah, that helped me make a choice. But it was not only my choice. I was so lucky to have my father, my late father, to be on my side, that despite everybody was pushing me to get married, he was always on my side, and other people, one of my uncles in the community was always backing me up, that despite everything, if you stand up, we'll be on your side.
So your father and your uncle encouraged you to pursue your education.
Yes, they did.
And then what happened to your father?
When I was in 11th grade, unfortunately, my father died. So when he died, my life fell apart because I had no moral support on how will I continue, where will I go, and who will help me in this. So I had to be out of school for a whole semester, a whole year, on and off, because I had nobody to help me. But through God's grace, my uncle stood up, some people in the community, the church, one in way or the other, they would help me with my tuition fee, pay 1 semester in, 1 semester out. But that is the only way I was able to make it. It was one of the horrible things which happened to me, but I thank God that I had some people who would be willing to stand up by my side.
And when did you come to faith?
I grew up in a Christian family. My mother used to take me to church every day. Every Sabbath, we used to go to church. So when I was growing up, actually I grew up in a community where there's not even books or anything. The first book that I ever knew to read was the Bible, because it was the only thing that I could find at home on the table. And when I was in around 2nd grade, I was able to start reading the Bible. And that is how, when we go to church, we are being taught that the only hope we have is in Jesus Christ.
So your faith came to you through your mother and your father's direction.
Yes, true.
And your mother's still in the village.
Yes, my mother is still in the village.
And we get reports every week when you and I get together. I ask about your mother, and some weeks she's doing fine and some weeks she's not. Is that right?
That's true.
And why is that?
The water we use in my community is a dirty water. It is not clean at all, but that is the only source of water we have. It is first of all seasonal. There's a time of the year that the water is available, there's a part of the year the water is not available.
So the river actually dries up in the dry season?
It is a seasonal river, dries up between by September or November it starts drying up, and then until April when the rains come, then we have water again. But this water is so dirty, contaminated, but that's the only source we have. So there's no clean water to help everybody. With this dirty water, today you drink it, you feel better, tomorrow you are sick. So it's just on and off. This unhealthy water makes the life of people really, really miserable. And we have no option because that's the only source of water we have.
And you're here in the United States now, and you've pursued your education. You just earned your master's degree, and you have a good job. Why are you concerned about your village in Africa?
What I went through, if given chance, I would not wish somebody to go through what I went through. And that is why I decided to take the path of which I took to help me be able to help back my community. If I wanted to drop out, I would have dropped out even at first degree, because at that point I was able to take care of myself. But I feel so bad that if God has given me this opportunity, not everybody has it. I should use it only to glorify His name by helping others. I'm not only focused in helping my community, but my focus is to help girls, child, women and children with a global focus. But we always must have a starting point. And my starting point must be where I come from, where I have first-hand experience.
Well, as you know, I feel the same way. And the starting point to make your village better, we agree, is to bring fresh, clean water to that village. Is that right?
That's true.
And that's not the end point. That won't fix everything in your village, but that's the starting point for us.
That's true.
And we're now trying to get that well drilled and put in that filtration system to bring the clean, reliable, fresh water to your village.
That's true.
We know from other villages that once the water problem is solved, a lot of the medical problems go away. Is that right?
That's true.
We've done some work to get ready for the water. We've talked to Water Missions International, which is actually in Kenya, drilling wells and putting in filtration systems. And we have actually had them come to your village and talk to them about what we want to do. What does the village think about that?
Everybody was so much excited, and they're always calling us every time to find out how much longer are they going to wait for this clean water. They're even becoming impatient, but we always tell them that God's time is the best time. You have just to continue working on this, and they'll get water at a certain time.
That's right. Well, you have many friends here now, so this is your home for now. And we know that God has guided our path, your path in your life, my path in my life. And we know He's been involved in our lives up until this point. So we just have faith that He's going to take us where we need to be in the future, right?
That's true.
And what He's done in the last year and a half is He's put us together so that we are moved and focused on trying to help your village.
That's true.
And that's what we're doing with Operation Well Worth It, isn't it?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.